Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. So this week we will learn about skills for developing yourself as a leader. So this is in chapter 3 in your ebook. Okay, we have been exposed to the theory of leaderships. Now you are being selected as the leader. So we will see what the skills that needed for you in order to be a good leader. Okay, this is the outline of your lecture today. First, we will look into the introductions and then your first 90 days as a leader, the learning from experience, how to build your technical competence, how to build effective relationship with your superiors and peers, also developing planning. Okay, leadership involves skills, and skills can be practiced and developed. So most people are less defensive about deficits in skills which can be improved than they are about suggested deficits in, say, personality. Yes, we can learn and relearn, but the most difficult part is the personality. Are you willing to learn and relearn? Because as a leader, you always face changes in daily work. So your first 90 days as a leader, first you have to look into the stresses and strains of the 90 days as a leader because it's real and it's acute. So the first 3 months give leaders unique opportunities to make smooth transitions, paint compelling pictures of the future and drive organizational change. So but many leaders stumble during this critical period. Because why you stumble? Because you have to see whether you coming from the same organizations or you are the external people going into a new company. Okay, so the new leader onboarding roadmap. Okay, before you join, you must have pre-hire data gathering and then post-hire activities. And then the first day, you meet your boss, meet your entire team. The first 2 weeks, you meet your team members, you meet your peers, meet the stars who are very acknowledged in that team or in the organizations, and conduct also some meetings. So the first 2 months, what will you see? Either obtain external perspectives, a strategy, structure and staffing, socialize decisions, and get some feedback. The third month, you will establish the culture that you want to build. Okay, you from the let's say you're from the outsiders, you come into the new organization. Maybe after 3 months in the organization, you decide you want to establish a new culture, and then you have to see the team of site such as values, strategies, operating rhythms, improvement areas, and sub-team analysis. So preparing for interviews, it means that let's say you are applying for a new positions. No, before you go and sit for the interview, you have to go some preparations. Candidates should gather as much information about their potential companies as they can. If you are working or applying positions as a leader in the same organization, is less stress compared to a new organizations. If you apply for a position as a leader in new organizations, you have to read some information from their websites, annual reports, press releases, and marketing literature. You can also use Facebook, LinkedIn, Plexo, and other social networking sites to help to set up informational interviews with people inside the organizations. Some people, when they do or they share their experience, for example, in LinkedIn, normally they will share their experience whether this organization is good, uh, they take care of their employees, they pay on time, for example. Okay. So the first day, of course, you have to make a good first impression to your boss. Okay. So the first meeting with the boss happens in the boss office, definitely, and lasts an hour. Don't take much of his time, yeah? Key topics to address during the meeting. First, identifying the team's key objective, metrics, and important projects, because this is what the boss wants you to look first. And then understanding the boss' view of team strengths and weaknesses, working through meeting schedules and communication styles, and sharing plans for the day and the next several weeks. This is very important to show that you are very eager with your new position as the leader. New hires should end discussion by arranging a follow-up meeting with their bosses to review progress and to ask whether weekly or monthly one-on-one meetings would be helpful. So you have to ask your boss uh, whether you need to update him or her every weekly or every um, uh, twice weekly, bi-weekly or monthly. Okay, so new leaders should also meet with the entire teams the first day on the job. After you meet your boss, and then you should go and meet your team members. Let's say you are in the organization, uh, you are a new lecturer, for example, coming to UNIMAP. Previously, you are teaching in Nusi Malaya. Now you coming to UNIMAP. Of course, after meeting the dean, you have to meet all the members in the organization, such as in the faculties, such as another lecturers. You meet another staff administrations. Okay, before you start your work, you have to meet people to show that you are a people person and you are very friendly with them. Okay, if not, they will boycott you and you have no friends, so you will have some difficulties when you are going to work with them later. The first 2 weeks, you need to lay the foundation. New leaders should meet people both inside and outside the team. For example, if you are working in Faculty of Business, and then within these 2 weeks, you have to meet your colleagues or another leaders from Faculty of Engineering. So key objectives of these meetings are learning as much as possible about each other territories, okay, developing relationships, and determining future allies. Of course, in future, we in the Faculty of Business, for example, we cannot stand alone. We have to have some allies between business and engineering as well. Okay, one-on-one meetings with the key members should provide the leader with answers to critical questions. Okay, what is the team member working on? What are the team members' objectives? Who are the stars a level or two down in the organizations? This is very important because we don't want other people to outshine us as a leader. So you have to know who is the most influenced people in your organizations and who are the less one. Okay, so what are the people issues on the team and what can the team do better? How you can improve the work of your team members based on your experience from your previous organization, for example. What advice do team members have for the new leader, and what can the new leader do to help team members? Sometimes there are regulations or restrictions that you don't know that being implemented that in that organization. So this is a good chance for you to meet during the first 2 weeks, meet all of your team members, and then you lay the foundation do and don'ts. The new leaders should minimize their personal interactions with direct reports during their first 2 months on the job. So it means that when you come into the office, don't make a habit to go for lunch with all your team members. It's not healthy for the first 2 weeks, okay? So new leaders should discuss the following during meetings. Everything must be officials and everything must be conducted through meetings or small discussions, yeah? So what they should discuss, their peers' objectives, challenges, and team structures, and etc. Or anything that not being solved for so many weeks, for example. So they can voice out here their perspectives on what the new leaders team does well and could do better. This is for improvement. Their perspectives on the new leaders team members. Maybe the new team leaders, he doesn't know much of their people in the organization because she or he is new. So maybe the people that uh, surrounding him is not the best people who can make the organization successful, okay? So how to best communicate with the boss and how issues get raised and decisions made on their on their boss team. Because sometimes you have a good team, but the way you communicate your ideas or communicate your proposal is not comfortable to the boss. For example, because you need to highlight that is because since you have a limited resources, for example, with regard to money, with regard to time, with regard to people, so that's why you cannot fulfill what the boss wants you to achieve. So this is how you choose the best way to communicate with your boss without jeopardize your new relationship with your boss. First 2 weeks, the new leader should make it clear that they want and appreciate their peers' help. So he or she should schedule regular meetings with their peers to build relationships and help new leaders stay ahead of potential conflicts. So new leaders should meet with their staffs during the first 2 weeks on the job. So staffs can provide ideas for improving team performance and are likely candidates for direct report position should the new leader decide to change the structure of the team. Okay, new leaders should try to meet the individuals who were once part of the team but have taken positions in other parts of the organizations. Sometimes when the leader came into that organization, he replaced someone else's place. So it's good if he or she can meet that person who's still in the organizations to get some ideas, okay, what is going on atau something that maybe is not solved when he depart, okay. So these individuals offer unique insights into the history of the team and the new member. Okay, first 2 months, we are looking into the strategy, structure and staffing. So leaders should gather more information, determine the direction and finalize the appropriate structure and staffing for the team for the next 6 weeks. Okay, so tasks to be performed include gather benchmark information from other organization, meeting with key external customers and suppliers, and meeting the former team leaders or if appropriate. Okay, the number 3 is meeting with the former team leader because you are taking his previous work. So it's good if you can ask him and meet him, ask about what tasks or any jobs that he still doesn't solve or not settled yet. Okay, so this is to protect you from overlook the most important thing when you take over someone else's job. So new leaders need to be able to articulate where the team has been and where it needs to go over the next 1 to 3 years, what the team needs to accomplish and what changes will be needed to make this happen, and then their expectation for team members. So once the proposed changes have been agreed to, new leaders need to have one-on-one meetings with all team members affected by any strategy, structure, and staffing decisions. So new leaders should seek feedback from peers and recruiters, because when you implement strategies, structure, and staffing, definitely some people will have change in their current jobs, or you might have higher expectations. Okay, sometimes when you go for new strategies, it means that the staff need to go through some training, or you need to provide new information for them in order for them to do their new task. Okay. Okay, third month. Okay, within that 90 days, very critical moment, you need to communicate and drive change. So at this point, the leader should be articulate how the team will win, identifying the what, why, and how of any needed changes, defining a clear set of expectations for team members. Especially this one, yeah? Changes is not everybody are eager to change because they are in the comfort zone, for example, and they don't think that they need to change in order to improve, because to them nothing should be change. Okay, nothing should be, I mean, if anything is doing well, when we need to do some changes. Okay, so new leader should define a clear set of expectations for team members. So major events for the third month, what the leader should focus is meet with the entire team and meet offsite with direct reports if the team is large. Okay, this is very, very critical, these two. Yeah, dia kena buat, they have to do it. Key objectives of the offsite meetings. Since you have a so huge organizations, the people under you may be more than 1,000 or 2,000 people. So you have to do offsite meeting. So this is to get agreement on the critical attributes and values of team members, create a team scorecard, establish an operating rhythm, establish task force to work on key changes initiative. If you have so many branches, you have the HQ is in KL, and you are department of operation, for example, and these operations you have small branch in every state in Malaysia. So it means that you have 14 branches across Malaysia. Of course, you have to have offsite meeting. You have to focus on the scorecard, because this scorecard will provide you which branches need improvement and which one is not. Okay, learning from experience. So leadership practitioners can exchange the learning value of expertises by creating opportunities to get feedback, taking a 10% stretch, learning from others, keeping a journal of daily leadership events, having a developmental plan. Of course, you need to have plan. You need to have plan, because without this plan, you you cannot lead your manpower. Let's say you are so focused on the HQ, you forget the branches, and these branches work directly with your customers. If you don't educate or don't acknowledge your branches, people in the branches very well, okay, so they cannot serve your customers at the branches. Okay, so you might lose your customers to your competitors. Right, this is very critical, building technical competence. Okay, because the technical competence will differentiate you with your previous peers. Okay, and also can acknowledge the star in your organization that you have better leadership. That's why you are needed to lead them. Okay, so concern, you need to concern the knowledge and a repertoire of behaviors one can utilize to complete a task successfully. Individuals usually acquire technical competence through formal educations or training in specialized topics on the job training or experience. For example, you are a new leader coming from outside organization. When you join your current organization, definitely some of your colleagues will be, or some of the people that you lead will be more experienced than you. They may be older than you, or sometimes they also coming from other outside organization as well. So you have to understand the people that work with you, how they how they how they got their training. Okay, what is their educational background. So followers with technical competence earn better performance appraisal ratings, exert influence in their groups, and are more likely to be a member of a leaders in group and are delegated tasks and asked to participate in decisions. So technical competence in leaders is related to improve managerial promotion rates, better training skills, lower rates of group conflict, reduced levels of role ambiguity, and higher motivations level among followers for leaders. Okay. So steps in building technical competence. First, we have to determine how the job contributes to the overall success of the organization. And then we need to evaluate one's current level of technical skills by seeking verbal feedback from peers and superiors, reviewing past performance, appraisal results, or reviewing objective performance. Okay. So when building technical competence, leader also need to becoming an expert in one's own fields and that can further an individual's developmental opportunities. So ways to become an expert in one's own field. First, by enrolling in formal education and training programs. Okay, for example, when you graduated from UNIMED in 2024, for example, after 10 years in your organization, definitely the knowledge that you have during your degree in UNIMED is not enough. You have to go for training. Okay? And then you also can watch other people's work. Okay? Watch them, how they perform. And then you learning through asking questions. And then to improvise that, what you know, you know that what you think you know is by teaching others. Okay, when you teach others, it means if your people or the people that training under you, so if they can master, it means that you are a good teacher. It means you are an expert in your own field. So seeking opportunities to broaden one's experiences by performing tasks associated with the other positions in one's work group and visiting other parts of the organization to understand its whole operation. Okay. Advantages of having a good working relationship with superiors. Of course, when we work in any organizations, you have to respect your seniors. Okay, those people who are more superior than you. Okay, superiors and followers sharing the same values, approaches, and attitudes. Okay, so if your superior and followers, you cannot differentiate between both two values. Okay, or you can differentiate or you cannot differentiate, will determine whether you can have less conflict or not. Okay, so this also provide higher levels of mutual support and be more satisfied with superior and followers relationships. Followers receive better performance appraisal rating. if you have a very good working relationship. Okay, right. Building effective relationship with your superiors. In order to understand the superiors' world better, followers should understand the superior personal and organizational objectives. Okay, and then you have to realize that superiors do not have all the answers and have both strengths and weaknesses, because your superior also a human. Okay, you are dealing with human. Okay, they also have strengths and weaknesses just like us. Right? Keeping the superior informed about various activities in the work group or new developments or opportunities in the field. You cannot keep quiet, okay, and uh, don't share any stories with your superiors, whether the activity is successful or fail. Yet okay, in you have to report to him or her. You cannot keep quiet and assume that your superior won't notice. Okay, you cannot do that. You have to build trust. Okay, you have to build your superior trust. We also require followers to adapt to the superior style by clarifying expectation about their roles on the team, committee, or work group, listing major responsibilities, and using the list to guide discussions with superiors about different ways to accomplish tasks and relative priorities of the task, and being honest and dependable. Okay, once you being honest and dependable, so your superior will have trust on you. So it's easy for you to do some uh, simple decision making without referring to your superior. Okay, building effective relationships with peers. Research suggests that a key requirement of leadership effectiveness is the ability to build strong alliance with others. So ways to establish and maintain good peer relationships through recognizing common interests and goals, understanding peer styles, problems and rewards, and practicing a theory Y attitude. Okay, remember last week we studied about the leadership theory. So you can implement the theory Y attitude. So development planning. This is the final task when you enter the office. So within 90 days, so development planning is very critical. So it's a systemic process of building knowledge and experience or changing behaviors. Peterson and Higgs believe that there are 5 interrelated phases to developmental planning. First, identifying development needs. Second, analyzing data to identify and prioritize development needs. Third, using prioritized development needs to create a focused and achievable development plan. Fourth, periodically reviewing the plan, reflecting on learning and modifying or updating the plan as appropriate. And lastly, transferring learning to new environment. Okay, because uh, you know that the changes is always coming. So that's why from what you have been experienced for within these 90 days, you can adapt to new environments. Okay. Conducting a GAPS analysis. So the first phase in the development planning process is to conduct a GAPS, goals, abilities, perceptions, and standard analysis, which involves the following steps. Okay, identifying career goals, identifying strengths and development needs related to their career goals, determining how one's abilities, skills, and behaviors are perceived by others by asking others for feedback or through performance review or 360 feedback instruments, And finally, determining the standards one boss or organization has for one career objectives. Okay, what is 360 feedback instruments? So it means that if you are the middle management, so you can get the feedback from your top management and your line management, also the peers. So it means that you can have, you are here, you get feedback from the top, from the peers, your peers, same level as you, and then from your subordinates. So this is what we call 360 instruments. Everybody give feedback on your performance. Okay? So an individual needs to perform the following activities if she or he needs to accomplish career goals. So we need to review the information from the gaps model, okay, look for underlying themes and patterns, and then determine what behaviors, knowledge, experience, or skills will be the most important to change or develop. Because from this gap analysis, we as a leader, new leader in that organization, we can change, maybe we can change our behavior, we can improve our knowledge, we can gather more experience and skills, okay, to fit the achievement of the organization. Okay, bridging the gaps, building a development plan. Following are the steps for developing a high impact development plan. We need to work on our career and development activities. Okay. Career and development objectives. Okay, we have to determine the criteria for success. We need to determine the action steps, deciding whom to involve. Okay, sorry. Whom to involve, and reassessing dates. Okay, stretching the assignments. We give some assignments so people can learn from the assignments, and we can apply to accomplish the assignment. Of course, we need so many type of resources, because this will reflect the knowledge with colleagues or our partner. Okay, so reflecting on learning. Okay, it helps leader analyze whether the final destination is still the right one, if an alternative route might be better, and whether there is a need for more resources or equipment. Involves periodically reviewing one's progress with one boss. So if we find that we're supposed to reach 1,000 ringgit sales within 6 months, for example, and when until the 6th month, the 5th month, still we cannot get nearer that 1,000 ringgit sales, so maybe we can change our course. Okay, we get an alternative route. Maybe we can get another resources. We do more marketing, online marketing, for example. Okay, transferring learning to new environments. The development plan should be changed, modified, or updated as you learn from your experience, receive feedback, acquire new skills, and meet targeted development needs. Okay, so because everybody change, developments change, requests also change. Of course, you also need to look into your strategies. Okay. Summary: the first 3 months, okay, give leaders unique opportunities to make a smooth transition, paint compelling pictures of the future, and drive organizational change. Performance is a function of technical competence. Individuals who have good superior-follower relationships are often in the superiors in group. Fundamental requirement for leading effectiveness is the ability to build strong alliances with others. And development planning is the systematic process of building knowledge and experience or changing behaviors. Okay, so as a to be a very successful skilled leaders and competent enough to work in the new organization, you have to have this process. You have to go through this 90 days process. Okay, if you fail, it means that you have to do some changes for your development planning. Okay, thank you.